Hi everyone, my name's Louise Reeves. I work with People For as their International Education Director. Today, the course that I'm going to be looking at is the hair and colour fashion trend for 2021 into 2022. Plus, I'm touching on a little bit on how you can also explore to make your own trend report or your own Pinterest page for your clients in the salon as well. So just remember that when you're inspired, everyone who knows you will also be inspired as well. You know, if you love something, you tell everyone about it and they get inspired too. So I hope you enjoy it. So let's just start with the beginning. If we look now on the next area that I'm moving into, it's more about how we build a trend board. And in your salon, over the last few months, every salon I've been going into, I find is completely different from another salon. They use products differently. Their favorite products are completely different from another salon. And their style and what they do with their clients is different than another salon. So some salons are a little bit more commercial, classic, and beautiful in what they do. Other salons are more creative and a bit wilder in their technique and in their client base and in their finished style. So you have your own personality. And in this personality, what you have to do is you have to advertise to get the market you want. So how do we advertise? Well, we do that through social media. And I know a lot of people are using Instagram and Facebook and TikTok to be able to do that, or Twitter as well. That's great. But sometimes, like us, it's great just showing a product, but give something to that product or give something to that hairstyle that your client can relate to. So if you're into really making sure you're getting very creative clients coming in, then what makes those creative clients tick? Is it just pictures of creative hair? Or is it some of those tag words that I showed you on the previous page that you can add to things that will click in people's mind and help them invest in you and come to see you? And I think both of those things are important. So what I tend to do is I tend to look at what's going to be great for all of our clients. So I look at the creative and I look also at the more classic looks as well. And here in the Netherlands, we are very classic in general, but we have that great creative niche, and everyone that's in that niche needs to find their hairdresser that suits them. So the best thing to do is a few different things. I tend to investigate and research a lot. And it's a lot of fun, you know, and in the salon, you can do that as well with your team. And each team member could be given an area to look at. So fashion for one of your girls or guys. You could have hair cutting for another one, hair coloring for another team member. You could look at art and social things that are happening in the world for another team member. You could look at pop culture or makeup for another team member, so that each person, maybe after a few weeks, brings to you their digital photos of what they feel is on trend and what's happening now, and just present that little presentation to the rest of the team. And from all of those pictures that you're going to get, pick out the best ones that you like, put them together, and then use them on social so that you're able to then begin to attract the people that you want to attract. Plus, there's a really great thing about this. What it does is it really begins to inspire every single member of your team. Now, if you work alone, it's a lot more work for you, but believe me, at the end of it, you get inspired and you begin to see things you didn't see before. And it's fantastic just to get you feeling motivated again, especially during these times. So I tend to look at the internet first, and I look at trend watchers, inspirational hairdressers. I look at fashion, film, music icons. I go to Pantone and look at what their colors for the year are going to be next year. And you know, the funny thing about that though is in every single country around the world, it's slightly different. So I kind of look at America, I'll look at Europe, I'll look at England, I'll look at Australia, and I'll have a look at what the most common things are. And then I'll put together my color trend board from that. Hair magazines as well, and even online ones. And also, again, Google, Pinterest, TikTok, Instagram, I look all over there as well. And let's look at them a little bit closer now. With the internet, we said before, Pinterest, Instagram, TikTok, Google, and more. So for me, what I tend to do is I've got a Pinterest board now, which is the 2022 Fashion Trend Report and hair. And everything that I feel is going to be important to us as hairdressers is on that board so far. And I'll keep adding to that. So you're welcome to join, follow me, and the board will be open to you. You can have a look at everything through there. And as I add things, you'll be notified as well. So it's great. I tend to put in Pinterest what I'm looking for that I feel is on trend. And then I get a lot of the photos and I choose from that what I like. And as a salon, what's great for you is you can ask your clients to follow your own Pinterest board for the salon. And that way, every time something new comes up, they'll also be notified. So you can actually put on there exactly what you feel your salon's all about with style, color, and hair cutting, and more. You can put on whatever you like. And your clients can then, you'll find actually a lot of your clients will actually come into the salon and go, oh, I love that picture that you put on here. This is great. This is what I want. So whatever you do, make sure that anything you put on your board, you can actually do. Because if you can't do the technique that's on your board and your clients come in and want to do it, then you are definitely in trouble. So make sure you can do everything. And if you need training in anything, of course, Cindy Van Leeuwen and myself are here to help you. We can come to your salon and assist you with color training and cutting training at any time. And some of the fashion direction or the design focus, these are the words that kind of come with that. So we're looking at clothing that's a bit more sheer or see-through, checkered or plaid checks, minis are coming back, mini skirts, mini shorts, mini. Cutouts, clothes are having pieces of them cut out to show a bit more skin. So skin is also a word which I've not put on here, but it's a good one. Back to school, big and bold, large scale, comfort. 90s, repurposed, recycled, vintage, patchwork, big jewelry, and total color matching. So they're the words that kind of go with what's happening with the trend, and they of course can be hashtagged as well. The 90s. So I don't know, many of you may not have been born in the 90s. Maybe many of you were born in the millennium. But those of you who do remember the 90s or were a teenager or even a young adult in the 90s, what you will remember is a few things. You'll remember that colors were kind of loose, a little bit baggy, a little bit sheer, but also too, you'll find that a lot of the hair had a central parting as well. And it had that, the grunge was really big in the 90s. So with that grunge kind of feeling came that dirty kind of hair and central partings and things like that. So with fashion, this is Chanel, this is their 2022 spring collection. You'll see those big, bold colors happening, big, bold patterns, sheer outfits, a little bit see-through, central parts, big glasses, big jewelry. It's all beginning to come back in. Now, if we look at color itself, just color, not necessarily hair color, but just color. The words for color or the color focus for 2022 is bright, joyful, happy, cheerful, and mood lifting. So we're looking at pops of color as well. We're looking at a little pop of color here or a pop of color there. And when we mean a pop of color, we mean a small amount of color, not just everything all colored or one thing. So in this, the reason why we're wanting things to brighten and make us happier is because I think a lot of us maybe have not been for the last few years, or we're feeling that we need inspiration or need motivation, or we need to be cared for or looked after. So these colors that we're looking for help to bring in our mind and in our eyes, it brings us happiness when we look at some of these colors. And colors are very, very important to our moods. When everything's gray all the time, we begin to feel a bit gray. And today, for example, we've had a week of really kind of rainy, grey weather, and today is really sunny outside, and it made me feel happier. So those warm, rich, bright colours that we get from sunshine is what we're looking for in our environment now. So let's look at that a little bit more. Yeah, here's our mango sherbet colour of the year. And I mean, that makes me feel happy. Mango sherbet makes me feel happy as well, but this colour makes me feel happy. And again, all of these shades, you can see how rich and how bright they are. These are the 2022 colours, as well as your mango sherbet. So what else do I research? Architecture, art, celebrities, and pop culture. And I'm not going to go too much into this because everyone has their own celebrity or pop person that they kind of identify with, or your clients do. So, but it's kind of, again, it's great to kind of throw these things into your mood boards so that you can really see who has been important over the last year, celebrity-wise, that is helping to form a trend by what they've done with their hair. So let's have a look at a few different things here. If we look at celebrities, we have a Dua Lipa, and we've got Bella Hadid as well. And they're really rocking the latest kind of color trends that we're going to be talking about very, very soon, which is called rogue coloring. So a lot of people have changed the way they've been coloring their hair, and these are just two of those examples. If we look at guys as well, you know, we've got Harry Styles. A lot of people love Harry Styles. And because he's got his longer hair, even though it's short, it's got length to it. Of course, a lot of young guys haven't got that really short fade anymore. They're going for a slightly more unkempt, slightly longer feeling. And so styling products, what was really selling big 2 years ago is not selling big now. You know, guys are wanting hair products that have more moldability to it, that you can move around in the hair, that are not so stiff and so hard. So, I mean, that really, it changes the way we sell products, changes what products we sell, and we have to learn new haircuts for guys because it always changes. Okay. So, hairdressers. So that's step one, what we've just gone through now, really what's happening in the world, art, architecture, fashion, all of that side. Now we're going to move into the hairdressing side of things. And we're going to look at what's happening in a trend for hair, but also, again, where I get my trend and inspiration from. And first place I always tend to go to is sassoons, and that's because, you know, when you're trained with sassoons, you know what they're bringing out is really on trend. And sometimes it's a little bit hard here in the Netherlands. Some of the styles are a bit too strong or a bit too creative or a bit too wacky. But for me, again, take all this wackiness and take all this creativity and bring it down to what you like. So again, from here, you're beginning to see from this, these warmth in those colors, that really nice kind of light peachy sunset, those very light champagne blondes, those smoky warm colors. And also you're beginning to see, instead of just face framing in balayage, you're beginning to see big sections of color separated from the front to the back. We're going to look at that a little bit more. Angelo's seminar is always inspirational. I just tend to look at his work because I find it beautiful. So, but again, even with that, you're looking at those warmth of color as well. Trevor Sorby, again, I love all of their work. And again, you can see that front color is different than the back, or there's a pop of color through the hair, or there's a different shape with the haircut. Now, this haircut I said was going to be on trend this year, that's just gone, and you're beginning to see that a lot more people are beginning to get the modern mullet, and we're going to talk about that and show you a few different shapes of that very soon. But I've put it back in again this year because I do feel that in the Netherlands we're just a little bit behind the general trend, or we're a little bit safe sometimes, and we need to kind of maybe come out of that a little bit more. So that's why I put it back in again. Hob Academy, Akin Kanitsi as well. Again, some of these were in my last year's trend and I put them back in, but the shorter fringes, the slightly more modern mullet feeling is definitely back in. That 90s feeling is definitely. So what are the words? What's the hair focus with our words? Sleek, which means not so flouser anymore, not so fluffy. Shorter, no, not necessarily short, but shorter. We've had long hair for such a long while. More squareness in the cuts, more layered in the haircuts, central partings, medium length, modern mullet, shag, gender fluidity, and fringes or ponies. So all of these things are the words that we're really looking for. Okay, so here you see the modern mullet or the shag. And again, I think in 2021, I recommended that this would be a haircut coming in, and it is coming in. And we're now seeing it more and more and more and more and more. And what's really great about these two styles is they're very similar, but you have a different hair type. And on the left-hand side with the dark hair, you see the girl is slightly less big at the sides, and you can see they've got a more squarer feeling to it, but there's a little bit less hair left there. So depending on your client's face shape, body shape, and hair type, you really can create a mullet that suits them instead of just the average general everyday mullet. So I think it's a really good idea to always do the consultation, look at the pictures that your client's actually sending or giving you, and really analyze the face shape and the way their hair moves and the way their hair forms. So on the next slide, you'll see here, we've got slightly shorter mullets. And on the left-hand side, she has longer areas around the front. And on the right-hand side, she has shorter areas around the front. So again, the mullet in general is a shorter style through the top and a longer style at the back. So that is the general term for it, but we can leave longer areas at the front of the hair as well. And the fringe length can change depending on the client's face shape. If we go into this one, here you see again, on the right-hand side, the girl with the big earrings, which is very on trend, very short around the front, long around the back. But on the left-hand side, very big necklace, short around the front, but long at the sides as well, but still the general shape of that square, elongated shape is there as our modern mullet. Now we're beginning to see how we see it more in the Netherlands, okay? We see a little bit more of a relaxed style. We see a little bit softer around the front and around the fringe, a slightly longer feeling to the mullet, but again, still that elongated style, not really wide. What's really nice about these styles as well, they've both got the boho fringe, which we've got a video on our video channel. But again, that really different color from the front than the back. We're going to talk about that when we get into color. And again, this is definitely a really long front fringe area. And this is slightly disconnected. So we still do the mullet underneath, but we disconnect the top and leave it longer through the top area. And again, here, I think in the Netherlands, it kind of works really well with the clients that we have already. So this is one of the big ones that's coming in. Here, again, you see the mullet, but you also see the styling of that dirty hair styling. And that's what's coming in with styling of hair, that feeling of slightly more dirty feeling in the hair and product in the hair with a dirty feel. So another look that's coming in, big style, is your central parting. And this is the back to school look again, but it's that really short, slick chin length bob and styled very sleek. So instead of it just being a little bit of body and with that wave that everyone's been having in their hair for the last 5 years, that kind of wave feeling is going out towards a more slick, styled look of straight hair. And I kind of really like that feeling through there. The way we do it here in the Netherlands, though, is a little bit different. So we see it a little bit more like this. Still that nice chin length bob, but with a little bit more of a relaxed styling feature. Again, here is another one that tells us exactly what we mean, and that's what we see a lot of. But again, fringes can be anything from very short to a little bit longer, depending on the face shape and the personal style your client needs. We go on further. This is the long shag. So this is where we actually begin to see that longer shag feeling, and you can see the before and after on this one. These are pictures I've just got from Pinterest, but they really detail exactly what I think is going on. And you can see those shorter layers through the hair. They're not all one length anymore. And all of these looks, we can help you to recreate and train you in through People for Training. And if you're interested, just please contact us at info@people4.nl. Next one. Okay, color, hair color. Now, Cindy Van Leeuwen, who works with me, this is her favorite thing in the world, is hair coloring. And she also does a lot of training on technique as well. So again, we can do a lot of these techniques for you in the salon. So what's our word focus or our color focus in hair? So we're looking at pops of color, dirty blondes, rogue blonde, face framing, brighter colors, happier colors, and blonde, which is a cross of a brown blonde. So let's have a look at them. Now, here's our bright colors, and we're looking at our mango gold. And you see this everywhere on Pinterest. You really see, it doesn't suit everyone, I'm sure, and I'm sure that, some of your clients might go, oh my God, that's a bit too bright for me. But for those creative salons and for your younger clients that want to try something, this is a beautiful color to brighten up anything. And what's great is that the colors that are used to do this are over blonde hair. And the colors are semi-permanent, which means they wash out. It means there's no damage to the hair with these colors. So they can wash out of the hair and you can put another color on, nice and simple. So I think those semi-permanent types of colors are huge at the moment for toning hair. They leave the hair healthier, they leave a gloss in the hair. And of course, with Fudge, we've got Paint Box. With NAC, we have the liquid gloss, and we've also got color masks. So all of these things are either temporary or semi-permanent. And great for your client, especially when they like to change, but also for the health of their hair and for the head and the skin. You see more here as well with warmer tones. So these warmer tones that you're able to see here are quite interesting, actually. And I put a lot of these colors in last year's trend, but again, we're just that little bit behind here. So you've begun to see your clients changing from that real silver ash gray to a more, which you can see on the far left, that really nice champagne vanilla type tone, or your caramel type tones or sandy colors. And those beautiful peaches and light coppers are beginning to, and I've seen this in quite a few salons, really creep in there. But of course, if you're working in a salon and everyone that is in that salon has ice cold gray or silver hair, you're probably still going to be doing that to your clients. So it's important that as a salon, that you're also either on trend or ahead of trend yourselves, and that you're wearing those hairstyles that your clients are going to want. If you're not, you're going to keep on doing what you've always done. Dirty blondes. So this particular blonde is a combination of an ash and a rose lilac. And when you put those two different types of semi-permanent toners onto the hair, you create a slightly dirty looking blonde. And that's really quite a fashionable color for some specific clients as well. These are other combinations of dirty blondes. One is a little bit warmer on the left and the other one is more mushroom on the right. But again, they have that slightly dirtier feeling to them, so that you're not just creating a light silver blonde anymore. You're going into different tones, earthy tones of color. Blonde. So this is when we're toning highlights with more of like a 7 level color, or a 7 to an 8 level color, or a combination of an 8 and a 7 to create nice browny golden blonde tones, not always so light. And again, why are people going for this? Is because they don't want to see the regrowth anymore. They want the regrowth to blend out or shadow out or smudge out. So they're going for the blonde look, which helps them to keep their color without seeing so much of a regrowth. And again, our world and our environment has helped to cause this trend to come about. Face framing. So on the left, we have a really soft face frame where only a small part of the hair is taken and lightened up. On the right, we have a much more dramatic or stronger face framing technique. And what you see from this is that the one on the right, it's quite light at the front, like a level 9, 8. And then the back is really like a level 2 or 3. So there's a big bit of difference between the front color and the back. That is what is coming in really quite strong at the moment. The one on the left is a much softer version. It's like a 9 level at the front, but it's more like a 7 to an 8 level through the back. And it's not done so strongly. So the colors are closer together, but they're also done in a much more subtle way. So again, choice is yours, which ones you like, and also what you want to advertise to your clients. But I think both of these are really quite strong looks. Okay, so we're getting into rogue coloring now. And this is where we've got a much bigger section at the front of the hair, which is a different color to the back. And it's not about doing all balayage through the back. It's literally one color at the front, one color at the back. And if we have a look at that a little bit more, we can see here just some examples of that happening. Now, these are very strong examples. But of course, when you go, if you see on the left-hand side, the girl with the blonde hair, she can actually tone that with a semi-permanent shampoo, with a conditioner, with a mask, with a semi-permanent paint box color, with a liquid gloss, with whatever. She can actually tone that and keep toning it differently every time she wants it done. So I think it's a really strong trend, and they've all got those little bobs as well. So this is what's really coming up, and you'll see those thicker 90s stripes coming back, but really it's two-tone. It's not thick stripes at the front and lots of balayage at the back. It's one color at the back, one color at the front. And I really like it, but you can make it very subtle. It doesn't have to be so black and white. You can bring those colors closer together. Again, if I just go back 1, 2, a bit like the face framing here on the left-hand side, you can have a natural color through the back that's on a 7 level and a blonde through the front. And then it's not as, or a champagne or a sandy color through the front. And that way it's not so black and white, but this is a really strong trend. Slick lights or baby lights has also been really, really strong recently. What I really like is this look. This kind of look is where you have the baby lights in combination with balayage. So just so that you can understand what I mean, this particular look is where, against where the parting is on the head, they've taken a section just about 3 centimeters or even 2 centimeters wide and done baby lights just in those top sections. All the underneath from here, all the way down to all under the back area and all under the sides is balayage. So you can see here on the right-hand side, you can see that see-through effect I was telling you about before with color, where you can see her natural hair underneath. So it's quite dark underneath the hair, but she's balayaged all underneath and really lightened up the ends. So that combination of baby lights or slick highlights and balayage is going to be a really strong one. And that means that we don't have to baby light the entire head of hair. We're only highlighting or baby lighting those 2 top sections on either side of the parting. And you're left to see that nice see-through effect of the natural color underneath. That is going to be huge. Okay, and bright pops of color, like we said, again, that you can change to any color that suits your face, the skin tone and face framing. So I think the bright pops of color are really strong. So we're on to hairstyling now. And what you're going to be able to see from hairstyling is a few different kind of looks. We're looking at more urban styles, tousled, but also very slick styling. You're going to see scarves in springtime into summer coming in big style. The chignon, the slick chignon, easy braids, and lots of clips as well. Lots of pins in their hair and clips everywhere. So let's just have a look at that a little bit more. So this is what I mean. We've got slightly tousled or that kind of dirty hair look, but we've got very, very slick on the right-hand side. Both of these feelings are going to be very, very strong next year. These are the clips. And the brighter the color, the clips, the better they are, or the more sparkle they have, the better they are, or the shinier they are, the better they are. So these are going to be huge when it comes to styling and putting hair up, whether the hair's curly or whether the hair is straight, it doesn't matter. Chignon, so on the right-hand side, you see just the normal chignon, the little chignon. But if we're going to glam it up a little bit, on the left-hand side, we have the chignon with these huge earrings again, and big hair pieces of jewelry as well. So those types of things are quite strong, big jewelry in general. But even on the right-hand side with the nice slick chignon, you can see the big glasses and the really big earrings there too. So they're beginning to come back. And the scarves, again, you know, there's so many ways to wear them. These are 2 ways to wear them, and these are more ways to wear them. So the more colorful they are, the better they're going to be too. So if you want to keep your hair with less color in it, you will start to wear scarves with color in there to spruce up that color feeling in the hair. And again, you can see the big earrings as well. So this is all, again, as we said, very strong. And lastly, we're going to look at makeup. Just little things about makeup that are changing every year. The glossy lips are big again. Red lips especially are going to be back, and especially over winter, you'll start to see that pop of red color in the lip. Perfect matching, so matching your makeup with your outfit. Like we saw earlier, that total match of handbag, outfit, and you'll see that in the makeup. Eyeliner is going to be strong, but under the eyes instead of over the top. So I'll show you that. Embellished eyes, which is where we embellish it with different types of things like sparkle or color, etc. Neon eye pops and pastel eye pops. So these are the main, again, taglines that you'll see for the trend. And this is how we see it. So you can see your total match here on the left-hand side, the big glasses and the glossy lips, the neon pops of color, the pastel pops of color, the under eyeliner through here, embellishment on the eyes or the cheekbones, and also the massive jewelry, so, or embellishment on the eyelashes or just under the eyes. So these are really the key areas of makeup styling for 2022. All right, guys, so what did we see here? We saw the trends that are happening and where they're caused from. Why are we getting these trends? We had a look at where do I research, where do I get inspiration from? We had a little look at what's happening with the color palette toning and Pantone, what inspiration from hairdressers, inspiration from magazines, from the internet, from trend watchers, how to build a board, how to feed your team with that. But the important thing is when you are building this, it's important to build a story as well. Everyone loves a story. And what I find is that if you just say to a client, oh, this is on trend, they go, oh, okay, but there's no one in the salon has it, and no one's doing anything with it in the salon, and it's not going to kind of fit. So what's really important is that you build that story about something you and your salon believe in, and that you love, and that story is then related back to the clients. Investigate what your salon feels is the trend and what suits your salon specifically. Again, there are a few different trends happening, so what suits your salon? And bring your own personality into it. Enjoy the process, because everyone else will, you know, not just you, but your staff, the people, your colleagues, and also your clients will really enjoy it. It's something to discuss and talk about. And it's about hair. It's not about holidays, which we haven't had for a while. It's not about the dentist. It's not about the children. It's about their hair. And people come to you in the salon for their hair. So it's a really nice thing to discuss. This will also help to build your teamwork in the salon, the creativity in the salon, the interest that everyone working with you has, and it'll bring the people you work with closer together. So add this story to your own social pages, whatever those social pages are, and create something great for you, your team, and your salon. So thank you very much. My name's Louise Reeves for People for Training. We're based in Zaandam, and all the trends that you've seen, both Cindy van Leeuwen and myself, We'd love to come into your salon and do some of the training in there as well to help you out. I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you very much.